Hey guys, welcome back to the Gamers Addict Show. I am your host, Player One. He hosts with the most lives and unlimited continues. And here in the Gamers Addict, we have Old School Al.
Woo! Whoa! He is here.
Muchas gracias.
After so many times seeing you on video,
Yep. Oh, I'm alive.
you're real.
I'm an actual
He's
dude.
real.
He's real.
Oh my goodness,
And
he is.
I won't melt. Don't worry.
I thought it was one of the, Player One's fake friends.
His imaginary friends.
Yeah.
He has no real friends.
I'm real life. I'm real life.
He's real, guys. He's real.
Yeah, and by the way, my favorite video game accessory was, or is, the old Intellivision IntelliVoice module for the B-17 bomber. Remember that? And Tron's Deadly Disc?
Actually,
That was my favorite old school accessory. I had to throw that old school plug in there, keep it real.
I remember that.
So yeah,
Nice, nice.
television. Man.
What year is that?
I'm probably 85, 84, maybe before that. Yeah, because I think
You
I
are
can-
old school now.
Oh man, I'm old school out.
So if you guys have watched the Gamers Addict YouTube channel, we have a series called The Warp Zone.
Yep.
And in that series, we go on adventures looking for toys, comic books.
Yep.
We go to places like CJ's Comics, Nowhere,
Tate's Comics.
Tate's.
Nowhere. Yep.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun, and Old School Al, he knows his stuff. So Old School
Thank you,
Al,
man.
you're welcome. So how did you get into this? When did this start?
Well, I mean, all my life, my dad collected coins and stamps back in the day, and I played baseball, so started, collecting baseball cards and memorabilia, football cards, non-sports cars. Non-sports cars leads to comics. Comics. One day I was at a comic show, and buying comics, the old McFarlane time, the time of
Nice.
Spider-Man 300, and real
Awesome.
good era, real good stories, and Infinity Gauntlet and Web of Spider-Mans and when
Talking about language.
the death of Spider-Man with Kraven the Hunter and all that good stuff. So during that time, I was collecting, going to conventions and shows, and buying comics. And one day I look up on the shelf, and the dude has the trash compactor from the toy Death Star from the 70s from Star Wars. And it just brought back a slew of memories. Oh man, I had that. That was the coolest and this. And then I just started with that one piece. I bought that one piece, and I'm pretty sure I overpaid for it. And then little by little, started going to everything from thrift stores to garage sales. So even like some old secondhand video game stores would always have some toys and stuff like that. And toys, games, the melding of stuff. I always wanted like the old Commodore, the old Intellivision, the IntelliVoice. I remember having all that stuff and just trying to reacquire it, as I got a little older and I had jobs, financial stability.
Nice.
What would you say your biggest deal ever was? Like let's say
man.
like you went to somebody said,
Bro,
hey,
the
Old School
dreams.
Al, let's trade.
Let's start with my dream. I would have dreams of like walking through a Lionel Playworld. We talked about Lionel Playworld earlier, and like just seeing like when you see those pictures of the setup of all Star Wars and He-Man and action figures,
man.
and just like going and throwing them in my cart, and then you'd wake up right when you get to the register. So that was my dream. Like I always like wanted to collect toys and the toys that I had and stuff. But I got into it like that, and I guess Star Wars are my favorite of the toys, the ones I probably collect the most. But it's not the only exclusive thing I do. I collect like G.I. Joes and Black Hole and Buck Rogers and Battlestar Galactica and all those old sci-fi titles like Flash Gordon and things like that. Just old school cool stuff. E.T. I saw your E.T. right here. We can put a little pulley and see if he says
No work.
home. Yeah, that's awesome. I was with you when you got it. Stuff like that, man. All old school toys from the 80s, maybe early 90s.
It's just a feeling it brings inside of you when you have them.
And I was telling you, I had a party at my house once, and I had Superman,
Once?
beautiful girl. I've had a few at my house. Just friend and wife of one of my friends, and she melted when I showed her an old school ET lunchbox. She turned into putty, dude.
Wow.
My brother had this, and there's so many good memories of growing up in her childhood.
Sure.
And I guess it's to see that reaction in somebody else. I know you did it. You had it when you walked into the warp zone.
Man,
You freaked
let me
out.
tell you.
And you
woke
guys
up
are all
something
welcome to
inside
come in the
Thank you,
future.
man.
Maybe do a future
Definitely.
episode. I know
Thank you.
producer Ron's been there, and we'll check it out, man. I'm sure it'll evoke something like you had this, I had this, I want this. So that's why I do it and how I got into it. And my favorite is really hard to pinpoint because I like a lot of the different things. I guess Star Wars would be.
Star Wars would be.
the driving force that got me into the toys, back into the toys and stuff. Cool. But I'm into all of it. I'm into comics. I like Amazing Spider-Man a lot. I like McFarlane Art and Jim Lee and those guys, and I appreciate all that stuff.
And baseball cards.
Baseball, yeah. So I played baseball growing up. I, played a little baseball. I was lucky to travel. I paid for college for me too. So I've met a lot of people through baseball. So I got a pretty nice memorabilia and autograph collection too. I still have my son playing. He's training yesterday. He just trained Big Bobby's son. So I have like a little hey, every once in a while, hey, hook me up, give me that, send him a baseball and stuff. So just trying to keep that autograph collection going.
So you weren't in the movie The Sandlot?
I was not in the movie The Sandlot, but I was in Invasion USA. Chuck Norris movie. I've been in a Chuck Norris movie. Yeah,
really.
When I was in high school, I used to be an extra.
See, you're joking. He's not.
I'm not joking. I was in
Let's make it a
Invasion
serious
USA.
show, please.
I was in the movie Invasion USA. I've been in what was that called? Chains of Gold with John Travolta.
Oh, that's good.
A bunch of
That's
movies
good to know.
that were filmed back in the day in Miami. Back in the early 90s, I was an extra.
Okay.
Me and my friends, we wanted, I told you guys, we kind of wanted to do something related to production and studio. And I was in the news in high school, did my TV news and stuff. And then,
Were you on 90210?
no man, even though I do have those sweet 90210 sideburns and
I was gonna say
Jason Priestley, baby.
Yeah, Jason.
I was gonna say if you were you in Only the Strong Survive.
No, I was actually in, check it out. Whenever you see Invasion USA, there's a scene of like Cuban rafters, how fitting, in the middle of Miami Beach, landing ashore, and like the bad guys show. They go, "Welcome to America." Next thing you know, they spray us with machine gun. And we had to sizzle like bacon and fall and die. And stuff like that. So I did like Bobo background acting. Like they pay you $100 and you were there like 8 hours in the sun baking. But when you're 19 years old, you don't care.
So besides collecting autographs, you've been in some
I've been
movies
in
as
real
an
movies.
extra.
I've been an extra. I was actually even once a featured extra because it was a baseball movie, and that was with what's this guy in Armageddon? Steve Buscemi.
Oh yeah.
And the guy from it was for HBO. We really thought it was going to take off. It was for how they do The Sopranos and they did the HBO series.
Yeah.
They were trying to do a series called Baseball Wives. So they had me, an ex-baseball player, be a featured extra. So whenever the actor who was totally never played baseball in his life, he threw like a girl. So they would have us from the background, like they'd make you up to look like the other dude and to play catch and throw and hit. So I was a featured extra. So I've done that a couple already. Nothing, no big deal.
Cool. Hey, man.
Now, how many video game talk shows have you been on?
Well, including this one.
Yeah.
Just his 4 or 5.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're number one.
Number one right there.
You're number one on this list.
Yeah.
I had to ask something like that.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So,
So if you guys like toys and have something you may think is of value and you may want to trade with old school
always willing to trade. I'd rather trade than buy, guys. So
send us an email at gamersaddict2017
or
Gmail.
questions. If you have questions on any, what's this? Is it cool? Is this worth it? Because sometimes there's a lot of remakes and fakes and things like that. Some of my friends, they want me to go into authenticating. They think that since I have that knowledge of toys, that I should go into those T.G.A, be a grader, and be those people who can tell fakes and forgeries and stuff like that.
Are you thinking about it?
I guess, but we have real bills to pay, and fantasy jobs are nice, but the real job is you kind of stumble upon that. I would love that, and who knows? Maybe in the future,
So question, if you can share with all of us, what would be some of the top things to look for when looking to see if something's authentic or fake? So what would you say?
Tampering.
Okay.
A lot of people like to Sharpie when they pull the price tags off. They like to Sharpie that, and that's already been tampered.
Okay, listening.
Like that. If you send that in to get graded, it won't get graded. Any little crack in the bubble also won't be gradable. Even a modern figure that you send in, even something like this, you send this in to get grading, and this is cracked, they no longer consider it sealed. So you gotta be careful because you don't want to send your piece in $25, $30 submission, then they just send it back cased for you and they keep your money.
Wow.
So they say, hey, this is open and we can't grade it. So that's number one. Reputable source, guys, because don't buy from Pepe's Toy Store.
Oh no,
Buy from
I get
people.
everything there.
Buy from people that are reputable and have good reviews and stuff like that. Because people do
Reputation is
tamper with,
important.
Good,
Yeah.
good reviews.
people do tamper with things and so be careful. There's a lot of authenticating services like C.G.A. and PSA and all those things that you could count on, but even those, I've seen people pop them open carefully, take out the good graded card, put a similar but lower value card in, and re-glue them carefully.
Wow.
So even that, you gotta be really careful.
Wow.
And look for the future for the next company that's going to do grading. OSA.
Yeah, old school, exactly.
OSA.
Old
OSA.
school authenticators.
Get right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just real quick, I was gonna ask, but what would you say is your holy grail or the most difficult thing you've ever found in your collection?
Wow, I found a couple of difficult things. I found a couple of things that that would be considered rare. Like that's to answer to piggyback on that. You had to ask me what was that one time that besides the dream. One time, a guy said, "Hey, I got a bunch of toys in my shed. I'll give you $80 and you clean everything out and take it with you." They paid me to take all these toys out. It was really hard work and there was a lot of crap in there and roaches and stuff. But I did that. I got paid once to pick up a guy's shed and take his toys home. He lived right behind Old Playwood, back in your hood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
And did you find anything?
Yeah, man, I got a skiff out of that. An old Power of the Force skiff. It was incomplete, but it's a couple $100 piece when it's complete. So throughout the years I found most of the pieces. So yeah, I've hit the lottery a couple of times in that was in the maybe late 80s, man. That's probably 89.
Wow.
Back in the day I've been collecting a long time, and those things are few and far between nowadays. Whenever you find anything in a garage sale, even it's mostly modern. There's no more.
You got a fan here calling
old
you,
stuff. What's up?
calling you by name.
Who's that?
Ultra Bay Gaming.
Ultra Big Gaming. Oh man, there's people from the old my game, but they spelled my name wrong. But that's all right. What's up, peeps? Probably people that know me from the hood.
So what would you say is, like, let's say like you made a deal, right, on a piece, right, and you went to sleep that night and it was like it was a done deal. This happened to me, right, and then the next day like you wake up,
Regret, buyer's remorse.
yeah. What would you say was,
What do you mean? Like, has it happened to me?
Yeah, has it happened to you?
Well, my brother sent in a piece to get graded once, and it came back that they couldn't grade it like unauthentic because it was like the bottom bubble was cracked.
Oh.
And he had a hairline crack that you couldn't even notice, and it was right at the joint. So that I felt bad. He spent the $30 to get it graded. They sent it back in a case, but without no grading and authentication. And they basically said, "Hey, it's fake." Well, not fake. We can't because it's that same situation happened. But buyer's remorse. I've had it a few times that I bought something and then I probably could have gotten that for $5 less or $10 less, but then I started thinking, what would I rather, have the toy or have the $5? And I easily get over it.
Okay.
So yeah, the money I found it's easier to find $20 than it is to find some of these toys. So even sometimes you overpay for it, they're not out there. They don't exist anymore.
and it's not like the value will go down, right?
Well, again, I don't only do it for the value, and I don't think you guys do it either. Okay, because nobody's getting paid here. And look at this setup and all the thousands of dollars in equipment that we spent on this stuff.
Oh well, they don't get paid either. Right?
Okay. Well,
Yeah, man, we gotta talk about
that's you and your unlimited lives.
We got
That's a joke. That's a joke.
We're gonna start charging those
We
unlimited
got
lives.
pizza and water.
Yeah.
You're looking even
Not
at
even
that.
caffeinated Coke, huh?
Water without the cup.
And no ice. So we gotta work on that. We gotta work on the catering.
Yeah.
But buyer's remorse, man, it happens. But but you have to. Let's try to win the majority of our deals.
Exactly.
We're not gonna win all the deals and all the bargains. What I always do tell him whenever we go on our bargain hunting, and I always say no to the first offer. He says $10, 7, boom. I just knocked 30% off the price. You're probably gonna say yes to 7 instead of 10.
Right.
So, but 30% more in my pocket, another $3 that I can buy another toy with, or another action figure, or what have you. So I always say no to the first offer. That's one of my ways to avoid your buyer's remorse and try to locate it in the price point that you're comfortable paying. But we gotta do more, man. I got that itch again. We haven't been to CJ's or any of our cool usual spots in a while, man. We gotta do it. We gotta find some
We
ways to do it.
gotta do it because that runs in my blood, and I have
Boys.
to, yeah.
Speaking of goodies, man, I know you have a little theme going on here, and I brought some stuff out of the warp zone to show.
Oh,
people.
wow.
Yeah.
Fresh from the warp zone. Look, ooh, it's warm.
Yeah, man, that's just
Dang.
Chipotle.
It's almost sizzling.
Oh,
So I brought these because I know that you have a theme going today.
How did you get it out of here?
oh.
Get it out of there. So
that.
we're gonna bust some out of the extra wrappings and everything. I know you guys you can pass those bad boys around. Got a little Mortal Kombat thing going later
Look
on
at
in here.
that, man.
So this one can't come out. There you go.
This brings back memories.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
So these are Mortal Kombat figures from the Warp Zone. They are from the early 80s or 90s. 94. They're not that.
Is the dust authentic too?
The dust is authentic and it comes
It's got
with
nice.
free, man. So maybe later on you might want to take some photos of that.
And it's got the rating.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So these are some of the those old Mortal Kombat figures. These are actually considered G.I. Joes.
KB prices here?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
So these
Wow.
are Joes, but you know, I guess from the Mortal Kombat line.
Shang Tsung.
Look at this. How
Finish
cool.
fight. Finish it.
For, what year is this? would you say?
94.
94, wow.
So these are like at the tail end of G.I. Joes, but they are considered Joes.
Yeah,
Sonya Black.
I've seen the G.I. Joe
Oh,
Street
Blade.
Fighter figures.
And
Bloody.
And it says
Fight.
like G.I. Joe on really cool.
But these are like, you know, the Mortal Kombat version.
So it's the same company, right?
Yeah, Hasbro.
Hasbro. Look how cool, guys.
So yeah, brother. So I brought those. I knew you were
Rated.
a Mortal Kombat
Fight.
fan later.
Cool, we can display these.
Check them out. Those are going back to the War Zone, bro. So
Sub-Zero.
Can they fight like right here in front of us or?
play simulated fights.
Similar. Okay, I can just like smash spots.
Please don't.
Yeah.
No, Bogey, this is not prehistoric times, okay?
Yeah, okay.
This is
We
not
have
like your
tech-
house, that
Alright.
cave that you
We
live in.
have technology.
This is awesome, man.
Yeah,
Ooga
thank
ooga.
you, man. So yeah, that's what I do. It's not just Star Wars. It's Joe's. Mortal
You know what
Kombat.
this particular one articulated reminds me of? Snake Eyes from
Yeah.
G.I. Joe. I
They
remember I
probably-
bought like one of the
They
first
probably used the Snake Eyes mold because they would recycle all the time, and Snake Eyes is that with a black paint job.
ones. Yeah,
And,
exactly.
You know, and then they do that all the time.
So here's Sub-Zero. Fight!
You want to check them all out? We'll leave them out here for your next segment. And however you
Well,
like.
actually, we're gonna come right back
Yeah.
and old school. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome,
being
brother.
here. It was amazing to
It's my
have
pleasure,
you.
man.
First
My pleasure.
time in the game.
Alright, old school out,
Old
man.
school out.
In the flesh,
Yeah,
it's real.
Hey guys, glad to help your show. You know, hit me up, comments.
And if you want to see Old School Al back here in the Gamers Attic,
Yeah,
leave
man.
a comment. Let us know what you want to see. If you want Old School Al to bring any other
Yeah.
figures, toys,
What else, man?
board games, he'll bring it here and he'll show it to you. So we're gonna take a brief 2-minute break and we'll be right back.